BBC has apologised and retracted the report, but they say they won't pay any compensation.
Well, we'll sue them. We'll sue them for anywhere between $1 billion and $5 billion, probably sometime next week.
So you're ready to take?
Well, I think I have to do it. I mean, they've even admitted that they cheated. I mean, not that they couldn't have not done that. They cheated. They changed the words coming out of my mouth. That's worse than what CBS did with Kamala. They changed her answer, but at least they didn't show it, coming out of her mouth.
Do you think it's appropriate that British TV viewers have to pay more than $200 just for the right to watch television? Do you think the license?
Well, I don't know what they do in a place that I like a lot, the general UK, right? But the people of the UK are very angry about what happened, as you can imagine, because it shows the BBC is fake news. Of course, you and I knew that for a long time, but we didn't know it was this fake.
Have you raised the issue with Sir Keir Starmer?
I have not, but I'll call him. I'm going to call him over the weekend. He actually put a call into me. He's very embarrassed by it. I don't know what percentage is owned by the country, but regardless if it's small or large or nothing, I can say this, the UK is very, very embarrassed by BBC, what they did.
Mr. President, you've said that tariffs do not increase prices for consumers, but now you're lowering tariffs.
I didn't say they don't. I say they may in some cases, but to a large extent they've been borne by the country. As an example, we have virtually no inflation, and yet we've taken in hundreds of billions of dollars. So we've taken in hundreds of billions of dollars. We've used tariffs to stop wars. You look at India and Pakistan, look at so many wars I stopped just by saying I'm going to impose tariffs on your country if you're going to have a war.
So
in that case, it was nuclear war, and I stopped it by using tariffs. But oftentimes, and to a large extent, the countries themselves pick up the tab. The companies pick up the tab, and I find that based on inflation, we have virtually no inflation. When I inherited the country from Sleepy Joe Biden, the inflation, it was the highest inflation in the history of our country, or at least 48 years. They used 48. I say it was the history. We have now a low inflation, going to be very soon even lower. But we'll get some of the prices down a little bit, which will bring them down to a new low.
How much of the tab is being picked up by Americans?
I think very little. I mean, I really think very little. If you look at it, and when you add the trillions of dollars that our country is making, when you add the fact that I'll be giving back $2,000 or so to middle-income people, low-income people, everybody but the rich will be giving $2,000 back, and you add that in. When you add the fact that our country is extremely rich and we have no wars and we're respected again, when you add the fact that when China was threatening to us in terms of rare earths, I was able to solve it just by putting tariffs on China, and we made a deal a week later. When you add all of the benefits, the single greatest thing we have right now is the use of tariffs, and I use them properly. For years they've been used against us, and I think, whether you call them tariffs or anything else, if you didn't use them, you really would have an unguarded disaster on your hands.
Well, those $2,000 payments, will that be inflationary? Because previously Republicans have said that sending money to people like under Biden.
Yeah, well, the difference is this is money earned as opposed to money that was made up. That money was made up. Biden gave like the Inflation Reduction Act, which did not reduce inflation, and it wasn't meant to, and they admitted it was a phony name. But they spent hundreds of billions of dollars on a fake deal called the Inflation Reduction Act. That was made up money. When I pay people $2,000 each for low and moderate income and middle income people, everybody but the rich will get this. That's not made up, that's real money. That comes from other countries, yeah.
Speaking of China, since you made the deal, since you struck the deal with them, has the Chinese agreed to actually purchase any soybeans? Have they locked in any soybean purchases?
Yeah, and they're in the process of doing it. We spoke to them today. They're in the process of doing not only a little bit, but they'll be doing a lot of soybean purchase.
Do you know when? In the spring?
It's starting. Before then, I think before then.
Okay.
It's starting. They'll be buying a lot of soybeans, but really, Jennifer, a lot of everything else too.
Can you say who you spoke with or who your team spoke with?
top of the line. Top of the line.
Just on the rebate checks, sir, how soon could Americans see those checks? Will that be in time for Christmas, holiday shopping?
No, not for this year. It'll be next year sometime.
Do you have a time frame? How
No,
many
but
months?
sometime during the year, next year. It's a lot of money, but we've taken in a lot of money from tariffs. The tariffs allow us to give a dividend if we want to do that. Now we're going to do a dividend, and we're also going to be reducing debt. We have, because of Biden and others, we have 37 trillion in debt. So we're going to be doing a dividend, which people will enjoy and spend and do what they want. But we're also going to be reducing debt very substantially.
What if the Supreme Court rules against you, sir? Is there
Well,
any
then
plans
I'd have to do something else. We'll have to figure something else. That would be a very sad day for our country. Just today, I stopped a war. I won't go into which one, but you'll be able to figure it out.
Cambodia, Thailand?
But that was quick. You're very smart. Good, thank you. But just today, I stopped a war by the use of tariffs. Oftentimes, I'm able to do that. And if you think of the cost of war, just forget about death, which is number one, but the death within those countries. But that all comes to in one form or another, it all comes right back to us. I stopped the war just today through the use of tariffs, the threat of tariffs. If we didn't have that, other countries would use tariffs on us, and we would have no fair means of fighting back.
Is that confirmation? Cambodia, Thailand, you stopped?
They're doing great.
Mr. President.
They were not doing great, and then, they had a conflict, as you know.
Yes, sir.
And I spoke to the prime ministers of both countries, and they're doing great. I think they're going to be fine.
Mr. President, what are you doing on healthcare subsidies? Obviously, people's ACA premiums going
Healthcare
up soon.
subsidies is a good question. So, Obamacare, which is the Unaffordable Care Act, it is totally unaffordable. You see the kind of money the insurance companies are making. Hundreds of billions of dollars. Their stock is up over 1,000% over a relatively short period of time. What we're going to be doing, what I'm going to be recommending, not this, Obamacare is a disaster, far too expensive and lousy health care. We're going to give the money to the people to buy their own health care. And the kind of money that we give to the insurance companies is more than going to take care of it. People are going to be able to buy their own health insurance, and it's going to be great health care, and they're going to get paid by the government. The government will be one of the greatest deals this country's ever made. So instead of giving it to insurance companies, big, fat, bloated insurance companies, we're giving the money directly to the people to buy their own health care.
Will Americans buy it from insurance companies?
Some may. I mean, they'll be negotiating prices. It's really free enterprise. They'll be, you can do it through an insurance company. You can also buy it direct. They have savings accounts. They have a lot of different ways of buying health care.